But it's fulfillment.
Yeah, it's a passion. It's a passion.
And don't you feel like, how long you been at Columbus now coaching?
This is my 4th year.
And before that, you were at?
Southwest.
Those are the 2 high schools. No other high schools other than those
No
two.
other high schools, no.
How do you feel fulfillment-wise? You've had you've had a good gauntlet of jobs.
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling Nick earlier, I was kind of a journeyman. I kind of worked, I was a bouncer. I did child abuse investigations. I did a whole bunch of different things, but I got into coaching at Southwest. The coach would come to Tamiami, and I got to know him, and then it started off with he just helped me out like twice a week, and then actually a young man who worked here, I coached him at Tamiami, Nick Perez.
Man.
Yeah, Nick Perez was playing at Southwest. I went to a game, and he kept asking me questions while I was on the sideline. I'm like, Nick, go ask your freaking coach, man. Like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm here to watch. And he goes, we don't have an O-line coach. And I said, I picked up on it right then. And then, again, it started like 2 days a week the first week. And then the next week I was there every day. It was just something that you can't coach. You can't be a chef. You can't do those things half-assed. You got to be all in. So it's something I got into. And then that coach ended up leaving the Gables. Southwest offered me the head coaching job, and I turned it down. And you used that to get to Columbus, which Coach Trujillo, a.k.a. Taco, was a big influence on that.
Oh, man.
And
and I have to, because we're like on a thing, but Alex Trujillo is probably one of the best human beings I've ever met.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll never forget, hey, Rob, can I get another one when you have a chance? Yeah, you're a beautiful man. You know that? You're doing a great job. Keep it up. I'll never forget, I don't remember the sequence of events, but Jim Moritz was my coach, right? And
shout out to Jim Moritz. He just retired this week from Columbus.
He actually was a very good D-line coach.
He's actually a very good computer teacher, too.
Is he? Yeah. I don't know. I didn't do much of it when it comes to teachers at Columbus, but I know that I did something very like myself and fucked something up and was very jacked up about it. But Moritz really fucking ate my lunch and he got into me for it. And Trujillo came to bat for me. Because I've known Trujillo since I was a kid because he went to school at the same time my sister did. So I knew him when I was fucking 12-year-old Jit. Just an incredibly good person, cared about his kids, cared about the program, cared about football, cared about progress, cared about people getting better, the greater good.
Yeah, he's definitely one that brings the best out of you. I mean, I think he's a huge reason besides the culture of Columbus why the football program has been so successful for 20 consistently years.
Right. So when you...
Let me, I'm just going to step in here for a second because since this is a podcast with such a global audience,
I have to chuckle when you say global.
From here at least all the way to Salina, Kansas.
Yeah.
This might be a good opportunity to treat the subject of Columbus like if people are listening who don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Which I think might be interesting to people because the whole Miami, the Miami school thing is very different, right, from what it looks like in a lot of the rest of the country. So that's why I'm inserting myself. Talk a little bit about for what that is and why people who are in Salina, Kansas keep hearing about this place.
All right, so definitely I can go ahead and answer this one. Columbus is a unique place. It's founded by St. Marcelin Champagne, which started the Marist Brothers, which I'm beyond blessed to have the Marist Brothers involved in my life. When my dad passed away, they played a huge role in being there for me. I was a freshman at Columbus at the time. So the Marist Brothers are like Jesuits. Jesuits, a lot of them came from Cuba. So there's a very similar there. But what the brothers have done at Columbus is almost it's like a cult. So if you're an alumni with Columbus, it's you live and die it. It's something that many of us have gone on to get degrees in college, but our best friends are from Columbus. Columbus is also special. It's an all-boy private school with practically an all-girls school next to it, and then we have a sister school that we do all of our events to.
Oh, you just called St. Brendan practically an all-girls school.
The 5 boys at St. Brendan are going to be thrilled to hear that.
Didn't George Masvidal go to St. Brendan?
He's the baddest motherfucker to go to St. Brendan.
I
George took credit, Masvidal as well. He kind of grew up in the same area as us, which is, Little Havana, Westchester. And I think Westchester's, again, going back to Columbus now, it's not to end the conversation with Masvidal. Columbus is about grinding. Like, the guys who came from Columbus that are successful now
100%.
started with nothing.
Yes.
And it's an all-boys school. It's private. Yes, it's one of the cheapest ones in Florida.
That's why I went there.
Absolutely, me too. But I think that's why Columbus is so special. You get a whole bunch of guys that come from all different types of South Florida, and we all grind. We're just hard workers, and it's something that I laugh all the time with parents when they come and tell me, "Man, my son doesn't work hard. He doesn't do this," and I go, "And your son in 5 years is going to own a business." Because that's just what happens with Columbus guys. I don't know how it works, but it just happens.
I don't know. Like, I feel that Columbus instilled in me this like essence of like camaraderie, work ethic. I always like go back to Dunn's last year, which was our freshman year, right?
Sophomore year.
And we used to work out. Used to do those like quote unquote voluntary workouts at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And Chris Munoz and them.
Yeah.
And being able to do those things instilled into me something that now is still the same. And then roll it over to, playing my junior and senior year. Like, I mean, I didn't see the field till senior year because I wasn't like a great football player. I really loved the game, and I studied the game.
You were a good teammate, though.
Yeah.
Good teammate.
But being a good teammate is something that I've taken with me to now at 34 that I try to instill into my team now. You're a little pushy, though. I hear you barking at these people. I don't know how that works because I couldn't see you being barked at like that and not responding. So I want a question. If one of your guys told you, "Hey, chef, fuck yourself," what would you do? No, I mean, we would fight.
You would fight?
Yeah, we would fight.
You can't do that these days anymore. Just so
no,
you know.
I mean, but it's in the kitchen world is very different, and the kitchen world that I come from is very old school, like the French kitchen world, and we've come a very long way. But the French kitchen world is very much like old school sports, and it's like you work and you work and you work until you get your opportunity to be the one on top, right? So at that point, you're trying to get the talent around you to your level, and you're,
I mean, being a chef is similar to coaching. You could be a great coach, but if you can't relate to your workers as a chef or as a coach, you can't relate to your players. You're not going to be successful.
But I guess, and it's interesting because like in the conversation with Joaquin, I asked him how like it was like going to play in the pros.
Yeah.
Like when you start pulling a paycheck for what you do, it's very different. So in my mind, like the whole food world, like I'm a purist. Like Ariette to me is like my child, and like that food is an expression of who I am, and so on and so forth. But the people around you are pulling a paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when they're pulling a paycheck and they care, the ones that do that are the ones that are really going to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Right?
But the ones that are getting a paycheck and going the far, they have that passion for it. It's the same in football. You got guys that are passionate and work their ass off, and then you got guys who are just going through the motions and could be better than what they are, but they don't reach their potential because they're just going through the motions.
Right. I mean, in the cooking world, like you can definitely make more money, and not in today's climate because today's climate is completely fucked and very different. But you could make more money when you go to a resort, a hotel, something that has like millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars behind it. When you come to a small, independently owned restaurant like this one.
So you're not a millionaire?
No, very much not.
But, not yet.
Not yet. But the idea is that these younger chefs come here because they believe in the food. But it's taken 5 years to really kind of like etch our way.
Has it been 5 years since it's been open?
We turned 5 January 14th of this year coming up.
That's awesome.
So we're 4.5 right now. So, like, it's taken that much time and that much work and the sacrifice, and now, like, you know, there's been accolades and recognition, and I'm very grateful for all that, but all that leads to other people saying, like, look at this, I want to learn this, you know, as to they're still pulling a paycheck, but they could make more elsewhere, and I'm aware of that. So, you know, like, along with working service with me and it being tough and me being very demanding, you get those sit downs at noon and talking about, like, what did you learn yesterday? How can we be better as a team as we were yesterday? Can we do something to improve what we did yesterday? And those are all things that I learned playing football. I mean,